Hey everyone, and welcome. If you're gearing up for your board exams, you know the pressure is real. Everyone's talking about how to get those top marks. But what if I told you the secret isn't about studying harder? It's about studying smarter. Today, we're going to break down how the highest achievers really study. So let's dive in.
So let's just get right to it and tackle the biggest myth out there, the one that causes so much stress. You know the one. The idea that to get over 95%, you have to basically become a hermit and study for 14, 16, maybe even 18 hours a day. But is that actually true? Is that what it takes? Well, the answer might just surprise you.
Yeah, not even close. The reality, when you look at the data from actual toppers, is that they're studying for a much more manageable 6 to 10 focused hours a day. And listen, that word focused is the key here. It's not about watching the clock, it's all about the quality of the work you're putting in.
All right, so let's properly bust this myth wide open. Why is this idea of studying all day long not just wrong, but actually bad for your final score?
I mean, this right here just says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the myth, these long, exhausting hours that just lead to burnout, stress, and zero time to actually review anything. But then on the other side, you see the reality for top students, shorter, high-quality, focused sessions that are built on a foundation of discipline and revision. It's a totally different ballgame.
And here's why that marathon approach just completely falls apart. Your brain, well, it isn't a machine. You can't just run it for 12 hours straight without consequences. Pushing it like that just causes major mental fatigue, which means you actually retain less information. You start forgetting stuff because you're too tired to revise. And let's be honest, a lot of those study hours are filled with hidden distractions anyway. It's just not effective.
Okay, so if the 16-hour day is a total myth, what do the real numbers actually say? Let's switch gears and look at the hard data and see what the toppers are really doing.
And this chart just illustrates the point perfectly. For Class 10 students, we're looking at about 5 to 7 hours. For Class 12 Science, it bumps up a little to around 6 to 8 hours. And for Commerce or Humanities, it's right back in that 5 to 7 hour sweet spot. Are you seeing the pattern here? It's all about consistency within a reasonable time frame, not some superhuman endurance test.
So, this brings us to the absolute heart of our explainer today. If it's not about the sheer number of hours you put in, then what is it about? Well, it's about having a formula. A smart strategy for how you actually use the time you have.
We're talking about something called the ideal daily study hour formula. The best way to think about it is like a blueprint for your day. It's a strategic way to split up your time to make sure you're not just learning new information, but you're also practicing it, and this is the most important part, actually locking it into your long-term memory for the exam.
And here's what that formula looks like in practice. About 40% of your time, right, that's for learning new concepts. Then a solid 35% needs to be for active practice, solving problems, working through numericals. And finally, a crucial 25% of your time has to be for revision and recall. Seriously, without that last piece, the first two just won't stick.
Now, a formula is great in theory, but how do you actually use it day to day? Let's break down how this builds into a practical, simple system that you can start using literally right away.
Okay, here's a super simple 8-hour day. But notice the structure. You've got 3 hours in the morning for those new concepts when your mind is fresh and at its sharpest. Then a couple of hours in the afternoon for practice. 2 more hours in the evening for some solid revision, and then you wrap up with 1 last hour at night for a light recall of everything you covered. It's balanced, it's smart, and it's sustainable.
Now, let's zoom out from the daily view to the weekly strategy, and it's just as simple and powerful. You learn new stuff for 6 days, and then, and this part is absolutely key, you dedicate that entire 7th day just to revision. No new topics, just going over what you've already learned. You mix in some weekly mock tests and keep an error notebook to learn from your mistakes, and boom, you have a system for constant improvement.
Of course, as you get closer to the exams, your system has to adapt. In those final 3 months, you can dial up the intensity a bit, maybe to that 8 to 10 hour range. But the focus totally shifts. This is the time to go all in on solving past papers. I'm talking the last 10 years worth, and doing a final, meticulous, line-by-line revision of your core textbooks. This isn't about learning new things anymore, it's about mastering the exam itself.
And finally, let's talk about the bedrock that holds this entire system together. It's not about being a genius. It has nothing to do with raw talent. It's all about a mindset that's built on discipline, not on stress.
Look, you can have the best study plan in the world, but if you're running on empty, it's going to fail. Toppers are almost religious about getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. They take short, strategic breaks to recharge.
And they know to put their phones away before bed to protect that sleep. This stuff isn't optional, you guys. It is absolutely essential for peak mental performance.
If you only take one single thing away from this whole explainer, please let it be this. A little bit of smart, focused work that you do every single day is so much more powerful than a few frantic all-night cram sessions. Consistency truly is your superpower.
So at the end of the day, becoming a topper isn't about burning yourself out. It's about building a smart, disciplined routine that actually protects your mental and physical health. You got to think of it like a marathon, not a sprint. It's a race that's won with calm, consistent focus.
So, with all of that in mind, I want to leave you with one final thought. Looking at your own study routine right now, what is the one smart, simple change you can make today to start studying more like a topper? Thanks for watching.